Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're going to talk about what makes me happy, and maybe the third one might make me a bit sad. You will see once we get to it. You will see once we get to it. But we are here with the triple review. We are here with the triple review where we are reviewing three Thanksgiving movies. And I am joined once again by Maury.
And Eddie.
Wow.
And Eddie. Well, I was saying Maury. I was introducing you first. Okay, Never. Okay, Maury, who does not want to say hi, and then Eddie.
Hello.
And then all the way from Norway, all the way from the future, it is none other than Steve Kenobi.
Hi.
Hello, welcome. Well, we are here to talk about three of our Thanksgiving movies. The first Thanksgiving movie that we have is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Maury, tell us about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay, it came out in 1987. It's directed by John Hughes. It stars Steve Martin and John Candy. And Steve Martin's an advertisement agent, and John Candy is a salesman, and they're both trying to get home for Thanksgiving. And they have problems with transportation, with the plane misfire and trains and automobiles.
Exactly.
Just hilarity ensues.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and everything in between.
Yes.
Yeah. So this has also become not just a Thanksgiving classic, but a classic of the 1980s. So starting with ladies first again. Maury, what do you think about this movie? What's one of your favorite parts about this movie?
Oh my gosh. There's just so many like when they first wake up in the bed and he's like, "Why are you kissing my ear? Why are you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Oh, it's between two pillows. Those aren't pillows."
Yeah. And then they jump up and start screaming.
Yeah. And start acting all macho. Well, how about that football game yesterday? I don't know.
Yeah, that was a funny part. Steve, what's one of your favorite parts of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Well, that part, I guess, and you know that weird guy who does the sniffing, who stares at them and sniffs.
Oh yeah.
That fellow.
Brother.
Yeah, and you know, John Candy's acting is fantastic in this one. He should have gotten an Oscar, in my opinion. As for Thanksgiving itself, we don't celebrate it in Norway.
Oh yeah.
You know? So there's not much turkey in Norway, and even less Native Americans. So and pilgrims. So we just don't have it.
Yeah, but you know what? Probably your people met them all first.
Yeah.
They all got here first, long before.
Yeah, we were over there before Columbus.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we left. Don't ask me why. But here's the thing, though. I think the Vikings got along well with the natives because a lot of the old Viking stories are written down, and they wrote down all their battles and whatnot, right? But there's no mention of any battles with the natives.
So they had some serious partying that happened.
Yeah, and there's they have found Viking settlements in Canada, the United States, and even down in Brazil, not long ago. So I think we were neighbors for a little bit. Then yeah.
And you were able to do it without planes, trains, or automobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you about John Candy. I thought John Candy's performance was superb. He was not only able to do comedy, both of them are masters of physical comedy, but very poignant. Whenever he would talk about his wife, I remember watching it for the first time and thinking, sums up with the wife. Like, he has a picture of her and all that. Every time he talks about her, he has so much love and sadness in his eyes. And when you find out at the end, spoiler, by the way, that his wife has actually passed away and he's going to be alone for Thanksgiving. That's a very, very moving part.
Yeah.
Eddie,
Yes.
what do you think about that? What's one of your favorite parts of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Well, I hadn't seen the film in quite some time. Actually, it'd probably been back, in the early '90s. It was the last time I actually sat down and watched the film, and I did like it. So it was like almost like seeing it for the first time. But I did find it difficult to watch without feeling sorry for the John Candy character after having known. It's like watching The Sixth Sense for the second time. But it's still a terrific film. There's a lot of really, really good parts in it. A lot of super life characters, more of a fantasy land that they're kind of in. Of course, no one would ever have that degree of problem getting somewhere, but it's just problem on top of it. And poor John Candy, his character is he's just a boob, and he can't help it, but he's so lovable. And you're right, and his acting is absolutely fantastic in the film. I mean, he really conveyed that hidden emotion, without letting us know, or Steve Martin know, but you could tell, he was hurting.
Yes. And the way that he kept bumping into Steve Martin, no matter what happened, it was
right.
That definitely suspended the disbelief, if you will, but that's okay because. But I definitely related to when Steve Martin was losing his crap at the car place.
Car rental.
Yeah, and he just started dropping every F-bomb that you could possibly imagine.
Oh my word! Yeah.
Yeah, my gosh. Well, I think that's interesting, Steve. You pointed out that you don't have Thanksgiving obviously over there, so you also don't have that time-honored tradition of either trying to get home for Thanksgiving or the car trip.
No, but it is similar to Christmas, isn't it? The getting from A to B and holidays and all that. So even though we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I can still relate to the fact that it was a holiday.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed this movie when I saw it first when I was a kid. A friend of mine had it on VHS, and back then you didn't have access to as many movies as we do now, right?
Yeah.
So you either had to buy a movie, record it on TV, or borrow it from a friend. So that was one of the pool of 50 movies, me and my friends had access to.
Yeah. Well, for sure. And what was also unique about this movie was usually the hell begins with family. In this one, the happy ending was getting together with the family.
Yeah, that's a good point. The family brought order,
It precisely. And how about Steve Martin? We talked a little bit about John Candy's character, but Steve Martin's character also goes through a transformation. I always like to go from point A to point B in all these situations. Maury, what do you think about Steve Martin's character?
Well, first, he just pretty much just focused on just his problems, and it was all him.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he got to know John Candy's character, he's like, he just, his character just kind of pulls you in. He's like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay. So he just kind of gave into it.
Yeah.
And,
well, and he finally realizes he's a bit of a jerk, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was being very self-centered.
Yeah. Well, before we continue on, I want to welcome to Miss Martin Muses. We have the lovely Lady Arwen Avalon, all the way from Middle Earth, and from Mirkwood First, also from Little Middle Earth. We have Lady Toriel. Thank you for being here, Lady Toriel the elf.
Basically, we have 2 out of 3 female elves from the Tolkien movies.
Yes, excellent. All we're
Tell
waiting for now is Galadriel to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, what do you think about the Steve Martin character?
A bit self-centered, but he could certainly be worse. He's not that terrible. But he warms up later on.
Yeah, literally and
So
figuratively.
yeah, so good character development in this one, isn't it? For both of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, particularly I found it pretty moving when they had a bit of bonding after the car situation. With First of all, I died laughing. I was rewatching it. I was laughing like a lunatic when the cigarette starts to go off, and then he starts to slide, and he's screaming and everything, and then they blow up the car, and their hands like are melting into the steering wheel, and they just start. Sorry.
I have a little trivia for you though.
Okay.
John Hughes originally wanted Tom Hanks to play Neil and John Travolta to play Del Griffin.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, but he didn't because the Paramount executives, they didn't want Travolta because he was considered box office poison back in those days.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a
Wow.
totally miscast.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
that would not have been not have been become a classic.
No, it wouldn't even come close. Well, and before we go on with that point, we have now a turtle having joined us. So we have two elves. Oh, yeah, two elves and a turtle. Shellback, welcome to Miss Smart Muses. Thank you for
Hey,
being here.
Shellback.
Yeah, we're talking about planes, trains, and automobiles, and the fact that, oh my gosh, John Travolta would have been completely miscast in that.
No,
Well, Tom Hanks
awful.
would have been too young at
Yeah,
that
that'd
point.
been
I mean,
awful.
you need somebody Steve Martin's age, the gray, and then he's got a family, mature kids, or been growing up kids. But
Yeah.
Tom Hanks would have been, golly, what was this year? 87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then like
just past volunteers. I mean,
yeah, then way too.
he would have been way too young. I would have thought.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen, well, as an alternative to the two main leads, Ronnie Cox as Steve Martin's character, and Dan Aykroyd as John Candy's character.
Ooh, yeah.
That would work.
I think that might have worked because Ronnie Cox is always underrated. He can play anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wow, that would have been great. Well, and then after they have their situation with the car, and they're back in the hotel room, and they get out the tequila and stuff, and they just start getting stinking drunk. I can definitely see that. I don't know. That scene kind of moved me because you're really seeing that they're starting to not only get along, but Steve Martin is finally kind of letting his hair down figuratively in that scene. Yeah. And that he's genuinely is fond of him. My gosh. Well, speaking of trivia, wasn't that the house from Home Alone?
Yeah, I think so. That's why I commented to Eddie.
Yeah.
Also, Rick Moranis was considered for the role of Neil.
Oh.
And Kevin Bacon played the taxi driver. I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that was his only appearance, wasn't it?
Yeah,
just fighting over the cab.
It's when she's having a baby. Wasn't that also a John Hughes movie?
Probably. I think John Hughes. Well, what movie didn't John Hughes do?
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that there's a 3-hour cut movie?
Of this?
Yeah, it says in the 3-hour cut of the film, the Braidwood Inn sequence was much longer. Basically, John Candy ordered a shitload of food from Neil's wallet.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Well, I didn't see it available, but of course now everybody Google. Let's get this. I would love to see an extended version of this movie. Yeah, it's a blast. And another thing that makes this movie nostalgic for me is seeing all these women, particularly with their 80s hair and their blue eyeshadow, and it's not a joke. It's for real.
I know. Yeah, he really wore that
Yeah.
mess.
Yes. I related to that. And the fact that everyone's smoking and they're just smoking in the airport
Well,
next to people.
yeah. You know, oddly, that's nostalgic for me. I'm old enough to where I remember when there were ashtrays in the grocery store at the end of each aisle, and
Yeah.
everybody smoked. You
In
know,
the hospital.
yeah, exactly. They would smoke, yeah, in the
The
hospital.
doctor and the nurses be smoking in the
Yeah,
hallways,
yeah,
talking about
exactly.
patients.
That the smoking scenes alone would have made it an R rating today,
yeah,
because
exactly.
it's one of the things they do to classify the rating if someone's inhaling tobacco or drugs for that matter.
Wow.
So even Home Alone would have had an R rating due to the Santa guy smoking.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you're right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so silly, isn't it?
That's very silly.
Yeah. Out of all the things.
They were they were having a go at the Lord of the Rings when that came out because they were smoking pipes, and they were like, the kids are going to start smoking because of Lord of the Rings. So they wanted those scenes cut and all that.
My
Because
goodness.
all of us look at an old man smoking a pipe that maybe our great grandparents smoked out of, and that's going to make us want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Out of all the things I saw in the Lord of the Rings, the smoking was what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Had nothing to do with swinging a sword or fighting an orc or saving the world.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Lord of the Rings, Lady Toriel says, "What? Shoulder pads and great fashion."
I wore shoulder pads at my confirmation when I was 15.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh! But you didn't wear the blue eyeliner, did you?
No, hell no.
Okay, but yeah, I remember the guy that was sniffing people, and oh my gosh, they
Biden?
had to.
Joe Biden?
Oh, oh my gosh!
Bless his soul.
What a world we live in that we think of sniffing people, and that's what we think of. Well, no, because he was sniffing people, not children. So, yes. Michelle Beck said, "Smoking a pipe and cigarettes are not the same." And Aaron says, "Those shoulder pads could take someone's eye out."
Which is actually why, hence the term needing a shoulder to cry on. It's from the shoulder pads. They put the head on the shoulder and it pokes their eye. makes them cry.
I think you made that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did.
No, that's cool. No, well, why not? A lot of it's enough to make you cry. Let me see. There was the other part that dated it for me was every time he was trying to communicate with his wife or get his tickets rebooked, they would have to sit and wait in line and get a quarter for
a phone.
For the phone, yeah.
Yeah. That's a very nostalgic thing these days.
Yeah, for the payphone.
Even house phones and pay phones, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
And I think if it had been made nowadays, they would have had the thief steal their phone, not their cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
No, it just brings up the communication, how far communication has come, in that time, during that period of time. The lines with the phones and the whole spiel, finding a quarter and whatnot, none of that exists today. Everybody's got a phone in their pocket. You got the world in their pocket.
You know what's weird about that, though?
What's that?
If you want to hang out with friends and stuff nowadays, it's way more difficult. Because even though people have the phones with them all the time, people tend to not want to visit because you can just chat with them on Messenger or what have you anyway. And the other thing is, the generation growing up today is the first one that has always had the internet, right?
Ah, okay.
And they have
Ooh.
and they have cell phones, which is basically supercomputers compared to what we had.
Mm.
They have them in their hand, and they have internet on them, which means they have access to all the information in world's history, and they use it to make funny faces on TikTok.
Exactly. Exactly.
That doesn't tell you anything.
If that isn't a loss, I don't know what is.
Well, they say youth is wasted on the young. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was a little bit convicted there, Steve, because when I've gone to visit Maury, we've sometimes been in the same room and messing each other.
Love-
She's on the
Yeah.
she's on the armchair and I'm on the couch, or I'm in the guest room and she's in her room.
I
we've done.
you mean doorbells are practically useless now. Nobody rings your doorbell anymore, really. You know.
No.
That's true, because we either see them coming or we just text and say I'm here.
Yeah. It's like people text you before they ring the doorbell. Like, I'm 2 minutes away. I'm like, okay, don't text me and ring the doorbell in 2 minutes then.
Exactly.
That will indicate that you're at the door.
Yeah. Well, here, Lady Toriel says that means they'll be going after Shirley Temple's Heidi next for her grandpa smoking a pipe.
Ooh.
You heard it here first. Arwen says, remember when phones had actual cords that plugged into a wall? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It was all coordinated.
Exactly.
Shellback TJC says, yes, go visit your friends in person. Well, see, that's what
Yes.
I'm saying. Yes, as Steve says, but I do go visit Maury in person, and we still use Messenger to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the days when, the doorbell would ring and a friend would be outside and go, hey, want to watch a movie? Like, sure, come on in.
Yeah, or come out and play.
Come out and play. Yeah.
Yeah. Back when that wasn't something scary. Okay. Lady Toriel says, yes, Aaron, great for scary movies. You had to stay put. Yes. And we'll get to that. Won't we? Oh my God. Yeah, that'll be the third movie. Then we have Ringing the Door, Stieg, and those crazy Norwegian customs.
Oh, I rang doorbells for other purposes too when I was younger. Just
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's amazing you and your friends survived your childhood. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap up our. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm surprised the neighbors survived too. To be honest.
Survived your pranks. And then Shellback said Norway is a real nut house. Well, you have very good nuts there.
Yeah. I'm not gonna dispute that because there's some crazy people in Norway.
Yeah. That is true. There's crazy people everywhere. Okay, look who's here. It is Lost Jedi. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. He says you can't have doorbells anymore. You'd have to have a hand sanitizer dispenser nearby. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you really want people to have clean hands when they touch your knob.
Oh,
Doorknob, come on.
Yeah, we heard that one before.
I've given up on this being a family-friendly channel. But all right, so as we wrap this up, what would you give your score for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? We'll start with Eddie this time.
It really has no comparisons. There's nothing that really relates to it. I would give it a solid 9. I would suppose. We're going to 10s. Is that our high score?
Yeah.
What's our? Okay, yeah, I'd give it a 9. Like I said, there's really no competition, and it does what it does exceptionally well, and it watched well again. Even though knowing the shtick, it kind of takes a little bit of the edge off, but it's still as sweet as it can be.
Oh, well, there you go. How about you, Maury?
Yeah, I'll give it a 9 as well. 9 turkeys.
9 turkeys. Oh, yeah. Oh, I should have said that. 9 turkeys. I would give it 9.5 turkeys. It's not quite exactly a perfect 10. But it's so fracking good and gives you great heart.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, Steve, what do you think about it?
Well, it's kind of like The Sixth Sense in a way, right? Because once you've seen it once, the cat's out of the bag, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But the first time I watched it, I would have given it a 10 out of 10 because it does everything it's supposed to do perfectly, and it's flawless. But on a second and third watch, it's probably an 8.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Lost Jedi, he says it has the laughs and the heart. Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
And Arwen, such a feel-good movie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is indeed. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, ladies and gentlemen. Watch it with your family. It's a great movie to watch with your family if you like your family or if you hate them. Either way, it works. 9.5. Which half? Which half of the turkey? Well, I guess you want the rump or the lower half of the turkey, and that where the good stuff is. I think something to that effect. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you. That was Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. We are going to now say goodbye to Steve Kenobi.
Well, I can still stay if you want me, though. If you don't mind me eating.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. It's just that Steve
Okay.
has not seen the other two movies.
No,
So,
but
yeah.
I want to hear about them.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay,
maybe I'll watch them.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So we will not kick out
Yeah.
Steve Kenobi. Steve is staying with us.
I
But
refuse to leave.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Steve is that guest that never leaves. Well, we have next none other than a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, that great classic movie, which you talk about something that just makes you smile. Holy crud. I can't even say when the first time was that I watched it because I was such a little girl. But Maury, why don't you give us a brief introduction to A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving?
Okay, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving was made in 1973, and it's based on Charles Schultz's cartoon, in the newspaper cartoon. And Charlie Brown's friend Peppermint Patty invites herself over for Thanksgiving dinner, which Charlie Brown has not planned for. He wasn't even planning to make a dinner or anything. But, he's gracious enough to say, okay, you can come over. And then him and Snoopy had to figure out what they're going to serve the kids.
Yeah, exactly. Peppermint Patty is a pain in the buttocks, not just in the White House as the press secretary, but also in real life. Because it's so rude. Poor little Charlie Brown. He's so sweet, so adorable, and he can't stand up to her because she's also a bit of a bully. And later they said, well, why didn't you just tell her you didn't want her to come over? He's like, I didn't get a chance.
She just talks over him.
Exactly. And I hate to say this about my sex, but there's probably some truth to that sometimes women, especially busybodies, we all know them, they're out there that
Yes.
make it. Oh, Steve, you said that too fast. Yes. But I just adore it, and I love Snoopy in it. He is so friggin' cute. And we have lots of love for Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Aaron Avonlaw, Lady Toriel the Elf, loves Woodstock. Woodstock is my hero.
Yeah,
I adore Woodstock. Yes, he's great. And Shellback says, people in the recent past have had a count about Franklin sitting on the opposite side of the table from everyone else. They were reading racism. Yes, exactly. It's like he just happened to be on that.
And yeah, he just happened to. I mean, it wasn't like they made him.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Exactly. Woodstock for the win. Toriel, I agree. Says Aaron Avalon. Well, we got a lot of ladies in the chat. Lady Arwen. Well, what is your favorite part, though? If there's one part that just makes you laugh or sticks out or just makes you feel good, we'll start with Eddie here.
Oh, it would probably be what's her name? Patty's buddy, Marcy.
Marcy.
Marcy. It
Oh.
would probably be Marcy's coming of prom. She asserts herself on Patty, and then actually tells her what she's doing wrong. I thought it was kind of cool. She found herself and stepped forward and pointed out to Peppermint Patty that she had invited herself, and you invited all of us. And, I just thought that was a good moment, for her, because that character is usually pretty well pushed back most of the time.
Yeah, she spoke truth to power. She put
She did.
Peppermint Patty in her place.
Yeah, essentially.
This is Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving from 1973, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Oh, he's googling.
He's gonna watch it now.
Well, no, it is what it is for sure. And what a witch, because Snoopy put together, I would say another word, Snoopy and Woodstock put together the cutest little meal that, to be honest, a bunch of little kids would absolutely adore, would
Sure.
probably
Yeah.
wish would be at Thanksgiving. And then she was being such a cow. Also of note is the very traditional telling of Thanksgiving. I don't think they would do that today.
Possibly not.
No.
No.
Yeah. Maury,
but
what'd
that
you
was-
think of that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Eddie.
Well, that's fine.
Okay, Eddie, why don't you? You were about ready to say something about the traditional telling of Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's reminiscent of the thing with Linus in the Christmas one, the one that came out in '65 or '66 or something. They stop for a moment and let Linus. He does this Christmas story from Luke, I believe. But sort of a throwback to that on this. He was telling us the Thanksgiving story.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great, and then they even said a prayer.
Yeah.
It's kind of disturbing if you watch Donald Duck and stuff, and they're celebrating Thanksgiving and they eat turkey.
Oh yeah, cannibalism.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I have a question though for the panel. On behalf of those of us who are foreigners, how do you celebrate Thanksgiving? Step by step usually. I know you guys eat turkey, but that's pretty much it.
Well, it's it's generally it marks the beginning of the holiday season largely for a lot of folks, because you do that and you run right into Christmas and New Year's. It's really a family time. It's very almost more family oriented than Christmas. It's where cousins and aunts and uncles and everybody all gather together to have a big meal, going along in some ways paralleling the Pilgrims and the Native Americans and their a big meal where they sat down together. That's the tradition. Anyway, I'm not a historian, so I don't know how accurate all that is, but that's what I've always heard. And we're kind of mimicking that. And they were giving thanks to God, for the food and for the, for health and for basically for being. And that's kind of what it is today. It's a time to reflect and give thanks for whatever you have.
Yeah, that's very accurate. And Lost Jedi chimes in with, you go to Walmart and buy a 22-pound frozen turkey the day before. That is also a tradition. Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, to tell what really happens on Thanksgiving, depending on the family, depending on how well you like your family, but most Thanksgivings that I've been a part of, at least relatively speaking, it usually starts with everyone sneaking into the liquor cabinet and spiking their iced tea because there's going to be that relative nobody likes, or putting it in their Diet Coke and stuff, or going into behind the house and taking some shots. And then everyone comes in, you pretend to like each other. You pretend you're happy to see them. If there are children and you're lucky enough to have a basement, you send them down to the basement and hopefully never see them again until it's all over. Or you send them into the backyard and hope they don't freeze to death, especially if you live in the north. Then we all sit and the women all go into the kitchen because we want to get away from everybody, but actually the real reason is because, or what we're supposed to be doing is getting the food ready. And the men all sit around and kind of talk and are all awkward. Then the food is traditionally it's turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, and sweet potatoes. Dessert is pumpkin pie, apple pie, and pecan pie. And so, yeah, you do say a prayer. And if you're lucky, like in my family, there's a preacher. So everyone would make him do it, get a professional to do it. We all eat. And then everyone then goes in to watch a football game, an American football game. I mean, is that pretty accurate?
That's pretty well sums it up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not that different from a Norwegian Christmas party thing then, because
Yeah.
it's actually
Exactly.
a thing. You know, the women
Exactly.
head into the kitchen. They do.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of guys who haven't seen each other for a year, and they're basically talking about how much money they earned. Try to top the other ones, so it gets awkward.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And then some asshole brings up politics, and it goes south.
And then they're shouting and
Gosh.
Exactly. Yeah. Lost Jedi says, I'm that relative.
yeah.
Yeah. Lady Toriel says, you eat too much, drink too much, and then you watch football.
Mhm.
And then, Lady Toriel says, not me. I have to work most of the time. Yes. And we do appreciate people that do work.
Yeah.
She has the impressive buttocks to prove it.
Yeah. And also, if you're the kind that has to work on Friday, you're like bracing yourself to get assaulted.
Gosh. Black
Especially,
Friday.
like, if
Black
work
Friday,
retail.
yeah.
Black
Oh my
Friday.
gosh.
You'll get in a fight over a toaster.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and Lost Jedi says, I'm that guy too. So you're the guy that always makes it go south. Yeah. The two things that have been like, we all agree, no politics, no religion.
Yeah.
And then there's that
exactly.
one relative that has to bring up either politics or like just do a burst out of religion. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's never any fun. But yeah, that's funny, Steve, that you told me that similar traditions. Well, there we go. See,
Well,
this is universal.
It's if you think about it though, it's kind of strange that despite which country you're in and despite the culture, the same thing still happens at family get-togethers.
Yeah.
Family is universal.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can all
And
relate.
oh, and I forgot about then you shove off the kids to the kid table. They don't get to sit at the
Yeah. The
Right,
kids at the kids'
right.
table. Other than Evita's, we didn't really have a kids' table.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't, did we?
I actually
We were
remember
out.
that Christmas parties and stuff, and all my my mom had I think 7 siblings, and all of them were breeding like crazy. So I have a heck load of cousins, and they're all weirdos for the most part. So I had to hang out with them, and they were messing with my toys and stuff. I remember that being hell.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had all your good toys.
Yeah, all my stuff was everywhere. They'd read my comics and put their
Rip the pages and
retard fingerprints on the comics.
Oh, Steve. Okay. Black Friday. Lost Jedi. Black Friday is nothing now. Online sales killed gladiator shopping. That's true. So maybe it saved lives. Maybe it has saved lives. Yeah.
Black Friday lives matter.
Oh, God. The
Sorry.
opinions and expressions of people who are on Miss Martin Muse. I always have to give this disclaimer when you're on. No, I do recall once my mom was like, there wasn't enough places at the big kid table, and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm really fine going to the kid table because I preferred hanging out with the kids than the awkward adult table. So you broke Arwen. Okay, Maury, can you tell us another part of the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving that stands out for you?
Well, the end.
Aww.
Whenever the kids are finally going off to Charlie Brown's grandma's house, and Snoopy and Woodstock are left alone, Snoopy breaks out the real Thanksgiving dinner. He breaks out the turkey and the traditional stuff that Peppermint Patty was wanting. He's like, no, I'm not sharing this with the dumb kids. So him and Woodstock are eating turkey. So Woodstock is committing cannibalism.
Cannibalism, yeah.
Yeah, cannibalism. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Which is funny.
that's why Snoopy's the goat. Snoopy is the
Yeah.
goat. I also
Yeah.
like when they were cooking and Snoopy came in with his little gun and Woodstock. He tried to give it to Woodstock and it fell over and they both got kind of blown up. You know.
That was good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Maury.
Yeah.
Did I interrupt you mid sentence there?
No, but with that last part, the studio actually wanted to take that out because of the cannibalism.
Oh, wow.
But Charles Schultz was like, no, keep it in there.
Mhm.
I mean, it's funny.
It was cute. Yeah, get out of my bedroom, says Lady Tori. I'll leave my stuff alone.
That's what she said.
Oh, God. Yeah. Eddie, any other last thoughts about?
One thing that Vince Guaraldi, the keyboard player and pianist, did all that Charlie Brown music, the Linus and Lucy theme, that everybody knows. And I felt like the soundtrack was just a little, I don't know, they modernized the Linus and Lucy song to its disadvantage, I think. So I felt like the soundtrack wasn't quite as, they got away from the trio with just the bass player, a percussionist, and him playing the piano that you heard in the Christmas and the Great Pumpkin one and stuff. And then this one seemed to be just a little bit modernized, too much maybe, for, I don't know. They seem to have gotten a little bit away from it on the soundtrack side of it.
Yeah.
But it was still good. It was-
Yeah. Well, and I like that they started with the Lucy and the Charlie Brown's football.
yes,
Classic thing.
that's a classic.
And that's been the story of our lives since the pandemic started. They're like, you do this and you can you can go back to
Exactly.
work. And then
Right.
they pull the football away. I related too much to that. Oh no. Okay, Greg says, I'd like to bring up federal monetary policy at dinner. Eat fast and bail to the living room.
Yeah.
You
that's
ain't
good.
right.
He would do it too. I know him well enough. I know he would do it.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. Okay, so if we were to give a score to this movie or this little cartoon, what would you give it, Maury?
I give it an 8. I like the Christmas one better.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Eddie?
I probably an 8. Yeah, I would give it an 8. I mean, it's got the cuteness there, but I don't know if it's the first one you've ever seen. It's probably terrific, but to having the older ones in memory, it's a little bit lacking from those. So an 8, but still good. Definitely worth seeing.
Okay, yeah, I give it about an 8.5. And this time it's the head of the turkey.
I would give it a maybe out of 3 unknowns.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, that is an honest review. Well done. All right, so everyone go get a little bit of love if you can. Hopefully you bought it on some sort of hard reel form of recording because everything is disappearing to behind a paywall nowadays. I was actually surprised that they didn't edit the digital version so far. So, all right, so that is a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Our next one is the masterpiece, Blood Rage.
Oh boy.
I could not believe that Maury made me watch this movie. We all watched it together, virtually, of course, because we're sorry, just not.
It sounds awesome from the title, though.
I think actually, Stig, you would adore this movie. Maury, tell us a little bit about Blood Rage.
Okay, Blood Rage was filmed in 1983, but they didn't release it until 1987. It was Ted Raimi's first appearance in film, and Ted being Sam Raimi's brother, the famous director. And Ted plays a condom salesman.
Wow, that has to be a filling job.
Yeah. It's just like a little bit part in the beginning of the movie. But yeah. But you see Ted Raimi in there.
Yeah.
And
I guess its workday has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
Stiff competition, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Here we go.
And it was filmed in Jacksonville, Florida, and the movie takes place in Jacksonville, Florida. And the interior scenes for the drive-in, it was filmed in New Jersey.
Oh.
But,
Well,
yeah.
the fact that you said Florida, it was definitely a Florida man.
Oh
movie.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. The character's like probably the first Florida man.
Yeah. And what the whole premise of this was?
Yes, there was
is-
twins. There were twin boys, and one's evil and one's good. And at the beginning, they see them at the drive-in, and they sneak out of the car, and the evil twin just butchers.
Happens to find a hatchet in a
Yeah.
pickup truck.
Yeah, and just butchers this couple making out in like this car, and then his brother was behind him, and he's just in shock. So the bad brother, he's got blood all over him from killing this couple, so he just smears the blood on his brother and blames it on him. So, he killed him. So the innocent brother gets locked up in the mental institution, and then 10 years later, he escapes on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. And the crazy brother then goes on a rampage because
Yes.
he gets triggered. So
Yeah.
what ensues is a lot of naked women,
It's an 80s horror flick. I mean, it's classic.
a lot of sex, and people
Oh,
getting hacked.
so on this Thanksgiving, it's not the turkey that gets stuffed. It's the
Yeah,
women.
yeah.
They get stuck in more ways than one.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So then it becomes a typical slasher movie, but it was incredibly hilarious.
Hilariously bad.
Yeah, hilariously bad. Maury, what's one of your favorite kills in this movie?
My favorite kill. I guess when the therapist got cut in half.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And then later, the innocent brothers like try to put her back together. And her
Yeah.
legs are shorter than they were.
Isn't that ironic though? The psychiatrist gets split in half by a split personality or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah,
Irony.
it's terrible.
Oh gosh.
Well, my favorite kill was the future stepfather when
Oh, yeah,
he
that
chops
was
off his hand. The guy's drinking a beer and he chops off his hand, and his fingers are still around the beer. can.
And they move.
Yeah, their fingers are twitching.
Oh gosh, we broke Arwen with that. Oh, and Lady Toriel Elsa. This sounds like a wonderful holiday movie to eat turkey by. Oh,
Yeah,
and by
it's
the way,
a turkey.
yeah, it's a turkey. But there's a scene where the mother is having a bit of a nervous breakdown because she's thinking about her crazy son and her other son and everything going on, and so she like goes to the fridge and starts
Oh
eating,
yeah, yes.
eating leftovers, and then she's drinking a whole bottle of wine, and then she starts vacuuming the house.
That's right.
Well, intercut through all these butchering scenes. Well, Eddie, which is your
Yeah,
favorite?
who was it that played the mom?
Oh, that's Louise Lasser. It was Mary Hartman, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she actually was an actress
Yeah.
who did some good stuff in the 70s.
Right, he was probably dreadfully embarrassed by this film even existing.
She needed the money.
Yeah.
Arlen says finger
Finger
food.
food.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Eddie, which was your favorite kill? Have we said it yet?
There's just such a bounty. It's difficult to. We have one. So let's see what would be one that y'all haven't mentioned already.
The boyfriend, the date with his head at the door.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a couple being naughty, and of course, in these films, all the naughty people get killed first. So and then she goes to the. So her boyfriend goes out. We don't get to see what happens, but then there's a knock on the door. The girl that we left, the boyfriend left. She goes to the door, looks through the peephole, and sees her boyfriend's face in the peephole. Well, he's back, and she swings the door open. Well, of course, it's his head hanging in front of the peephole without a body.
Yeah.
So it's a Disney. It's an early Disney thing, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, and then there was one of the sex killings was two people on a diving board at the swimming pool.
Oh,
yes, I forgot
yes.
about that.
Yeah.
On a diving board.
Yep.
Yes.
Wouldn't that make him bounce off? And then, like, someone watching would go 10.
Well, then when he killed him, then he fell off. They fell off into there.
Yeah, they did fall off into the boyfriend falls into the water.
Yeah. And then
God.
gratuitously, there was a scene where the chick goes into the shower just naked and just showers herself, and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
why?
What point did that serve?
Well, we know the point
Oh.
it served. Yeah.
I know why they do that. It's so they can have a clean kill.
Yeah.
You know what though? With all those slashers and stuff, they always kill off the slutty character, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just once, I would like to see a complete slut survive. Just
that would-
just the slutty one. Everyone else, the virtuous ones and all that, you kill them off. But
Yeah. Yeah, kill the one that's usually the final girl.
let the most annoying slutty character live.
Yep.
Just to piss off the audience.
You'd be great.
Yeah, that would definitely be subverting people's expectations. Lady Toriel, what is your favorite kill? She asks over the pumpkin pie. I'd rather ask that than ask about politics.
You know what,
boy.
though?
What?
That actually probably would make family dinners way more fun. Because, what's your favorite kill in a horror movie? It is better than talking politics, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Better
that would probably be our subject when we like horror. We all like horror movies here, so that's probably what we would talk about.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Lady Toriel says, I have a feeling this will become one of Steve's favorite movies.
Yes, I think Steve would really enjoy it.
Well,
It's hilariously bad.
I have it now though, and I plan on watching it before or on Thanksgiving. And I'm already impressed by the cover of the movie. Makes me want to watch it.
It's great.
It's so 80s.
Yeah,
Oh, it's terrific. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So-
everybody's shorts.
Yeah, and the lighting, it's like they shot it with desk lamps or something, and 16 millimeter project camera they borrowed from the the AV lab at school. It just
It's probably better than the Eternals. Or
Oh yeah, I think anything's better than that.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, at the end of the movie,
can I make a little note? You know the world is not doing well when people think Ted Raimi is better than Salma Hayek. That
You know, like Jockster from Princess Warrior, from Xena. It's Jockster.
Yeah, I mean, but guys used to like watching Salma Hayek, right?
Yeah.
Now it's just Eternals, it's shit, and then this is obviously better.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, definitely more entertaining. I was completely entertained, but at the end of the movie, first of all, this mother is so stupid. She deserved to die. But you said something, Eddie, to Maury or me, just a commentary on something to the effect, what the hell did we just do? Or I forget what it was.
But I just watch.
No, it was
Yeah.
we have to have a pact right now that we never let anyone know we've seen this film.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was
Then
something
we make
like
a
that.
pact. Well,
He wanted to make a pact, but obviously we didn't make it because
No, we didn't.
we're admitting in public. That was the most perfect ending to the movie.
oh my
No
God.
one must ever know.
We voluntarily watched this.
You know what though? When you guys do these streams, you should have at least one terrible movie in the list.
Yeah.
It's fun, yeah.
It was something. I'll tell you.
I know. Sometimes I like terrible movies. I'm like, I know they're terrible, but they're just so hilariously bad. I just enjoy them.
You could do like the Schindler's List and The Pianist, and then Blood Surf.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, like the one I just ordered. I just got in the mail. It's Phantom of the Mall.
Oh my gosh.
The mall.
Yes. This
That
one's
sounds-
hilariously bad.
There's a new movie about someone being trapped in a mall, and a pair of pants starts killing them.
Oh no.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but I saw the trailer and it looked fantastic.
Oh, well, I would watch that. Hell, I'd
Yes,
pay
so
money.
someone tried on the pants and it started crushing him or something and twisted him around.
Oh, that's too great. That's great.
I would watch that. So, inevitably, I say out of 10, what would you give this movie, Maury?
Well, the movie itself, maybe a 1.5. But for entertainment enjoyment, I would say a 10 because it's hilariously bad. I love it.
Yeah, I will agree with that. That it cannot be said objectively at all that this is a good movie, but a 10 for entertainment. A 10
Yep.
for entertainment. It was hilarious. I laughed the entire movie, and it's very rare that happens. How about you, Eddie?
Yeah, I'll have to agree. It probably has, if you look at it from a real critical standpoint, it probably has no redeeming qualities at all. But it was wildly entertaining, and like you said, you just laugh from front to back. It's so remarkably bad. It's like, how did this get past anybody? Continuity was horrible. Just
I know,
some
especially
simple
with the
stuff.
mom. Oh my
man,
gosh.
she was. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
I would give it at least a 4 based on the movie cover itself, because that has a lot of value.
That's true.
Yes, it does.
That is true. I will grant it to you. Who's got Messenger on?
I
Steve.
Oh, that's okay. It's a free country. We don't judge here.
Norway is anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're all going to end up in Norway, maybe, if they'll let
Eddie's
us.
been in Norway.
I've been to Norway, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went with a group called Up With People. It was back in 78, 77, something like that.
That was before I was born.
It's a beautiful country. Holy cow. We did we started in Oslo and went around Kristiansand. There was like a big Texas refinery thing, and we were in Bergen. Just beautiful. And then we drove back to Oslo across the mountains. It's really amazing.
Yeah, if you have to, if you're driving south to get to Oslo, you have to drive over some mountains.
Beautiful.
Not far from where they filmed The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Right outside a hotel.
Yeah,
Yes.
one of the scenes, when Luke Skywalker is escaping the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you see him from behind. He's running through the snow. That was filmed from the hotel door. they were in the lobby filming it. They had a snowstorm and they just shoved Mark Hamill out. Just said, "Run,
run away."
Yeah,
excellent.
The hotel is still there.
Yeah,
cool.
Well, there you
all
go.
all the dead rebels are gone though.
No, yeah.
Oh, you should reenact it sometime. Okay, Arwen says, what does she say? Who needs Halloween for freaky movies when there's Thanksgiving? That's true. We have our own sort of horror story. Lady Toriel says, all year long scary movies, bad movies rule. Yes, they do. And Arwen agrees with us.
Someone got me to watch a movie called Thanksgiving. Which is a demonic turkey raised from the dead by the Native Americans who are necromancers. And I'm not even kidding. It's a slasher with a turkey, and the turkey itself seems to be a glove shaped like a turkey, and it's just like wiggling in their faces and all. And there's a, I don't know if I should say it.
You can say it. You've already said enough already.
Well,
Go for
okay. A lady is having sex with her boyfriend, and he is behind her. And the turkey shows up and snaps the guy's neck and takes his place.
Oh my word! Oh no! Nobody put that in a movie.
Well, you can still tell it's like a hand just wiggling like a hand puppet, like a Muppet. So
it's even better.
Yeah, it really isn't that. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's just bad.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, if we still have a free internet, maybe we'll do that for our next Thanksgiving.
No, please don't. It might sound funny and all. It isn't. It's bad.
Oh, really bad. Like
yeah,
okay.
Not even the hand puppet turkey could save it.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and Arwen's like a demon turkey. I can't. I'm glad you're amused. I mean, it is. It's all good and it's all funny. Well, we have reached the end of our hour. We have reached the end of our hour with our 3 movies. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, a masterpiece, a lovely little cartoon, and possibly the second worst Thanksgiving movie, because according to Steve, it sounds like it is Thanksgiving. But I can't help but say, if you're in the right mood, go for it. Watch this movie. Watch Blood Rage. I think it'll be worth it. So, before we do our outros, Lady Toriel says you and Christy need to put that out.
Oh yeah, yes. Me and Chris did. We did. It was supposed to be like a show, I guess, where we're supposed to review really bad movies, but we were going to pretend they were great. And we did that one. We recorded it, but she hasn't put it together and released it yet. But basically, it was supposed to be satire, though, because we were talking about, the Native Americans raised that demon turkey, and Christy went like, how could the Native Americans do that? And stuff like that. And
like they're taking it seriously.
Yeah. But I don't know what happened to it, though. Maybe it'll be released when George Martin releases his next book.
There we go.
Yeah.
Release the Thanksgiving cut. Arwen
Yeah.
says, so no watch party on the demonic turkey movie. Not anytime soon. It's called Thanksgiving. Maybe you could find it out there. Maybe you can find it and we will see.
It might even be available on YouTube because a lot of those really bad horror movies are available for free on YouTube.
Mhm.
There was this movie I watched once and nobody believed it existed because they thought I was doing a pun. It's called Monstered.
Oh no.
I'm not kidding. It's on YouTube for free.
Mustard.
Yeah, basically a serial killer dies in the sewer and there's chemicals in there and he turns into a poop monster that kills people.
Oh my god.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll save that one.
and the tagline for it says, "It's not a movie, it's a movement."
Oh
That's great. I give it a 6 on that alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can find it on YouTube and watch it. Absolutely. Don't expect a masterpiece, but basically you get what you think you're gonna get.
no.
Watch it on Thanksgiving if you're with people you hate. How's that? If things get too awkward, that'll be the punishment. Lady Toriel says that this was awesome. Good journey, everyone. Well, good journey to you, Lady Toriel. We love you here. And I want to thank everyone that's been in the chat, everyone that is admitting that they're here, and those that are lurking as well. Thank you for being here and on Miss Martin Muses. We have Lady Toriel, the Elf. We have Arwen, Avalon. We had Lost Jedi 22. We had Shellback, and I think I got everybody. Let me see if I did miss you. Mea Maxima Culpa, Mea Maxima Culpa. Thank you for being here. Maury, I was about ready to say, where can I find you? But you don't. I guess we can find you on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter at Confined Cats.
At Confined Cats, yes. And Eddie, we can find you on Maury's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe one of these days you can get something here, yeah. But we will be continuing with the triple review. The next one will be Christmas movies, and I have made an executive decision that it will be Christmas action movies. So our next one will be Die Hard, Lethal Weapon 1, and Rocky 4.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you are my enemy.
The fourth one, is that the Russian one?
Yeah, I must
Yes.
break you.
Yeah.
They released a director's cut of it just a while ago.
That's Dolph Lundgren. Isn't
Yeah.
It? Very young.
It's weird, isn't it? Rocky 4 gets the director's cut 30 years later.
Yeah. Well, and the fight takes place on Christmas Day. Oh, in the private chat, check it out if you want to see a link to that. Is that Monster Turd you have there, Steve?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
proving
my
it
gosh.
exists.
Yeah, well, I believe you, Steve. I believe you because I don't think.
It says, "Don't get caught with your pants down," and it's crawling out of the toilet.
May Guvanin, y'all. I'm thinking that is Elvish. Help me out here. The only Elvish I know is from the song because I had to sing it once. Mornier. From Fellowship of the Ring. We love it. We love it. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Oh, I'm sorry. You can find me here on Miss Martin Muses. Sometimes on OG Star Wars. Oh, and Steve. Yes, we can find you on OG Star Wars as well. Where else can we find you?
On Jade Shadow's channel. We do the Cringe Factory every Friday, but this week we're doing it tomorrow on Wednesday, where we basically rip into stupid things in pop culture. It's almost therapeutic, and we take the top 3 worst things, I guess, which is a challenge by itself these days. So we actually do work with it. And on Friday, instead of the regular Cringe Factor, we are doing our top 10 superhero movies. We're doing like a top 10 list every month.
Ooh.
So top 10 superhero movies. So if everyone wants to get angry at me for having the wrong ones at number 1 and 2 and 3 or whatever, that's where you'll find me.
Okay, fair enough. And also on the Two Towers book discussion, where hopefully we will be a little more mature. Well, actually, we did on our last discussion. We did have a lot of good points to make, but there were we found some things in the Battle of the Helm's Deep that
That
we
was you
hadn't
and Rene's fault.
No, it wasn't. I digress. Well, thank you. Oh, Lost Jedi gave me a rose. Thank you. Oh, that's very sweet. So you've heard it here. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this party. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a great day. And be certain if you have a demonic turkey, just
Put it in the oven.
Actually, there you go. Put it in the oven. Have a good one.